A very good morning, students. How are you doing? I hope you are doing great. Today we are going to study class 9th Beehive book, chapter 6. Name of the chapter is My Childhood. Students, this is written by APJ Abdul Kalam. This is an extract from Wings of Fire, that is the biography of Kalam's. Okay. Let us see the brief introduction of this chapter. Abdul Kalam's biography is titled Wings of Fire, and the chapter My Childhood talks about the childhood of APJ Abdul Kalam. He was the President of India and a great scientist too. APJ talks about his upbringing, his parents, and his siblings. He tells us about his friends and all those things that influenced his childhood. Let us see the explanation of the chapter line by line. I was born into a middle class Tamil family in the island town of Rameshwaram in the erstwhile Madras state. My father, Jalaluddin, had neither much formal education nor much wealth. Despite this advantage, he possessed great innate wisdom and a true generosity of spirit. He had an ideal helpmate in my mother, Ashiamma. Erstwhile means former, means pehle ka. Innate means inborn, in one's nature, quality or feeling. Generosity of spirit means his soul sought to help others who were needy. Means they were very kind. APJ, let us see the explanation of this chapter, these lines. APJ Abdul Kalam was born into a middle class Tamil family and his place of birth, Rameshwaram, is an island town in the state of Tamil Nadu, in the Bay of Bengal. Today we know this state as Tamil Nadu, but when he was born at that time, the state was known as Madras state. APJ Kalam's father's name was Jalaluddin. APJ says that his father was not very rich. He did not have much wealth. He was not highly educated, but despite these disadvantages, he had some other qualities. He was naturally very wise and was generous too. APJ's mother's name was Ashiamma. She used to help his father. She was a great support and help to him. I do not recall the exact number of people she fed every day, but I am quite certain that far more outsiders ate with us than all the members of our own family put together. I was one of many children, a short boy with rather undistinguished looks. Born to tall and handsome parents, we lived in our ancestral house, which was built in the middle of the 19th century. It was a fairly large pakka house made of limestone and brick on the Mosque Street in Rameshwaram. Undistinguished means ordinary or common. Pakka house means a house made of bricks, cement, and limestone. APJ, APJ Kalam's mother was also generous and kind hearted. Every day she used to feed a lot of people. She fed a greater number of people from outside than the total number of the members in their family. Abdul Kalam had many siblings and he describes himself that he had short height and common looks. He did not have any exceptional looks. On the contrary, means on the opposite, his parents were very tall and handsome. They were good looking. APJ did not inherit these physical qualities from them. APJ Kalam's ancestral house was very old. It was built in the 19th century. It was a pakka house which was made of bricks and limestone. It is located on the Mosque Street in Rameshwaram. My austere father used to avoid all inessential comforts and luxuries. However, all necessities were provided for in terms of food, medicine, and clothes. In fact, I would say mine was a very secure childhood, both materially and emotionally. The Second World War broke out in 1939 when I was 8 years old. Austere means simple, strict, and severe. Secure means safe. Materially means in terms of things like clothes, food, medicine, and emotionally means in terms of love and affection. APJ Kalam was very simple, but he was strict also. He wanted to live. APJ Kalam's father was very simple, but he was very strict also. He wanted to live his life in a simple way, and he used to teach his children not to waste money on unnecessary things. APJ says that his father used to avoid any kind of inessential comforts and luxuries. He provided them all the necessary things like foods, clothes, and medicines. APJ says that his parents fulfilled all his needs, whether it was very tangible thing or their love or affection. This shows that he was the quality of gratitude. Means he was very thankful to his parents. APJ is thankful to his parents for whatever they did for him. APJ was 8 years old when the Second World War broke in the year 1939. So we can calculate that he was born in the year 1931. For reasons I have never been able to understand, a sudden demand for tamarind seeds erupted in the market. I used to collect the seeds and sell them to provision store shop on Mosque Street. A day's collection would fetch me the princely sum of 1 anna. My brother in law, Jalaluddin, would tell me stories about the war, which I would later attempt to trace in the headlines in Dinamani. Our area, being isolated, was completely unaffected by the war. But soon, India was forced to join the Allied forces and something like state of emergency was declared. Isolated means lonely, cut off. Allied forces, the armies of UK, USA, and Russia during the Second World War. Dushman Senai. Tamarind seeds means kind of fruit. Tamarind means imli, you can say, and chia seeds. Princely sum means generous amount. Here ironic. ओके मतलब व्यंग किया एक तरीके से राइटर ने यहाँ पे. आना मीन्स एन ओल्ड इंडियन कॉइन वर्थ अबाउट 6 पैसे. दीनामणि एट तमिल डेली न्यूज़पेपर. The demand for tamarind seeds increased in the market. APJ used to collect and sell the tamarind seeds to provision shop located on Mosque Street. He would earn a mere sum of 1 anna, which equals 6 paise. When he addresses it as a princely sum, something very great and valuable, he is being ironic as the amount was very less. At that time, this 1 anna meant a lot of money to him. APJ Kalam's brother in law Jalaluddin used to tell him the stories of the ongoing World War. Later, APJ used to read the newspaper Dinamani and used to look for the news for the same stories. Rameshwaram was a small island town far away from land, so it was not affected by the World War in the beginning. But after some time, India had to join the war and combine with the Allied forces. Then a state of emergency was declared in the country. During emergency, the president's rule is implemented in the country. It is like a curfew in the country. A lot of privilege which was given to the people are withdrawn. The first casualty came in form of the suspension of the train halt at Rameshwaram station. The newspaper now had to be bundled and thrown out from the moving train on the Rameshwaram road between Rameshwaram and Dhanushkodi. That forced my cousin Samshuddin, who distributed newspaper in Rameshwaram to look for a helping hand to catch the bundles, and as if naturally I filled the slot. Samshuddin helped me earn my first wages. Let's see the explanation. Word meaning first of all. Casualty means loss. Suspension means end. Halt means stop. Fill the slot means fit into a place easily. The first impact of World War II on the people of Rameshwaram was the cancellation of the train stoppage at the Rameshwaram station. Earlier, the train which came from India used to stop at Rameshwaram station and then went further to Dhanushkodi. But now the halt was cancelled and the train went from India to Dhanushkodi without stopping at Rameshwaram. With this, the newspaper bundle which used to come for Rameshwaram was thrown out of the moving train as it reached Rameshwaram road. APJ Abdul Kalam's cousin Samshuddin used to distribute the newspaper in Rameshwaram. As the train stoppage was cancelled and the newspaper bundle was thrown out of the moving train, he needed someone to help him catch it. APJ helped Samshuddin by catching the bundle and distributing the newspaper. In return, Samshuddin paid him his salary, which was APJ's first earning. Half a century later, I can still feel the surge of pride in earning my own money for the first time. Every child is born with some inherited characteristics into a specific socio-economic and emotional environment and trained in certain ways by figure of authority. I inherited honesty and self-discipline from my father. From my mother, I inherited faith in goodness and deep kindness. And so did my three brothers and sisters. Pride means sudden increase in the feeling of satisfaction derived from one's own achievements. Half a century later means after a period of 50 years. Figures of authority means a person who had authority over another person, a person who has the power to give orders or make decisions. Inherited means a characteristic or a quality which you have got from your parents or ancestors. Socio-economic means in terms of money. Average this incident happened 50 years ago. Even now, that is when he wrote the book, he could feel satisfied and proud of himself. APJ says that whenever someone earns his own money with his hard work, he feels it the same way as he did. For a child, the figure of authority is his parents, and the next figure of authority can be his teacher. A person who has authority over the child. APJ is saying that whenever a child is born, he has some qualities which he acquires from the elders in his family. These depend upon the social status of the family and the environment at home. From his father, he inherited honesty and self discipline, and from his mother, he inherited faith in goodness and deep kindness. His siblings also inherited these qualities from his parents. I had three close friends in my childhood: Ramananda Shastri, Arvindan, and Shiv Prakashan. All these boys were from Orthodox Hindu Brahmin families. As children, none of us ever felt any difference amongst ourselves because of our religious differences and upbringing. In fact, Ramananda Shastri was the son of Pakshi Lakshmana Shastri, the high priest of the Rameshwaram temple. Later, he took over the priesthood of the Rameshwaram temple from his father. Arvindan went into the business of arranging transport for visiting pilgrims, and Shiv Prakashan became a catering contractor for the southern railways. Orthodox means strict. APJ had three best friends during his childhood. Their names were Ramananda Shastri, Arvindan, and Shiva Prakashan. All of them belonged to very strict Hindu Brahmin families and were ardent followers of their religion. As APJ was from a Muslim family, he says that during his childhood, all the children were so close to each other that they never felt any belonged. to they never felt that they belonged to different religions. Religion was not a barrier in their friendship. There is a very famous temple in Rameshwaram, the Rameshwaram temple. APJ's best friend Ramananda Shastri was the son of Pakshi Lakshmana Shastri, the priest of this temple. When these three friends grew up, Ramananda Shastri took the priesthood of the Rameshwaram temple. Arvindan started a business of transporting the pilgrims to and from the Rameshwaram temple, and Sri Prakashan became a catering contractor for the Southern Railway. He was in charge of the catering for the railway. During the annual Sri Sita Rama Kalyanam ceremony, our family used to arrange boats with a special platform for carrying idols of the Lord from the temple to the marriage site, situated in the middle of the pond Ram Tirtha, which was near our house. Ram Kalyanam ceremony is known as Kalyanotsava. It means marriage festival. In South India, marriage is known as Kalyanam. So Lord Ram and Sita's marriage is called Sita Ram Kalyanam marriage ceremony. It is the ceremony of the depiction of the marriage between Sita and Rama. Let us see the explanation. Whenever the Sri Sita Ram Kalyanam ceremony used to take place, APJ's family always also took part in it. They used to arrange the boats for it. They used to make a special platform for the boats on which the statue of Ram and Sita were placed and transported from the temple to the marriage site, which was in the middle of a pond named Ram Tirtha. This pond was near APJ's house. When he was growing up, he never thought that there was any difference between Hindus and Muslims, as they participated in the Hindu festival wholeheartedly. Events from the Ramayana and from the life of the prophet were the bedtime stories my mother and grandmother would tell the children in our family. One day, when I was in the fifth standard at the Rameshwaram Elementary School, a new teacher came to our class. I used to wear a cap which marked me as a Muslim, and I always sat in the front row seat to Ramananda Shastri, who wore the sacred thread. Let us see the explanation. APJ says that they listened to stories from the Ramayana and the life of the prophet from their mother and grandmother as bedtime stories. So they listened to stories of both Hindu gods and Muslim gods. There was no differentiation on grounds of religion. As APJ Kalam belonged to a Muslim family, he used to wear a cap on his head which identified him as a Muslim. His friend Ramananda Shastri, who was the son of the priest of Rameshwaram temple, belonged to a Hindu Brahman family and used to wear the sacred thread worn by Brahmins. When these children were in class 5, a new teacher came to their class. APJ Abdul Kalam recalls an incident which happened then. The new teacher could not stomach a Hindu priest's son sitting with a Muslim boy. In accordance with our social ranking as the new teacher saw it, I was asked to go and sit on the back bench. I felt very sad, and so did Ramananda Shastri. He looked utterly downcast as I shifted to my seat in the last row. The image of him weeping when I shifting to the last row left a lasting impression on me. Could not stomach means could not tolerate means सहन नहीं कर सका. Downcast means sad or depressed. The new teacher could not tolerate that a Hindu priest's son was sitting next to a Muslim boy. He told APJ to go and sit on the last bench as he belonged to a lower rank of the society. Both the children felt very bad. When APJ changed his seat and went back and sat on the last bench, Ramananda felt very bad. APJ still remembers the image of his friend Ramananda crying. It left a lifelong impression on Kalam of his friend's feeling for him. After school, we we went home and told our respective parents about the incident. Lakshmana Shastri summoned the teacher and in our presence and told the teacher that he should not spread the poison of social inequality and communal intolerance in the minds of innocent children. He bluntly asked the teacher to either apologize or quit the school and the island. Not only did the teacher regret this behavior, but the strong sense of conviction Lakshmana Shastri conveyed ultimately reformed this young teacher. Summoned means called, bluntly means speaking in a direct and honest way, even if this offends or upsets people. Apologize means seek pardon, maafi mangna. Quit means to leave. Conviction means a strong opinion or belief. Convey means communicated. Both children went home and told their parents about this incident. And Ramananda's father Lakshmana Shastri called the new teacher and scolded him. He told him not to kill the children's friendship by putting the venomous discrimination of caste and religious into their innocent minds. Ramananda Shastri was very clear in himself. He told the teacher, either you are sorry for the wrong you have done or else leave the school and Rameshwaram town too. The teacher asked sorry for the mistake he had done, and due to Lakshmana Shastri's determination, his thoughts about religion and caste also changed. On the whole, the small society of Rameshwaram was very rigid in terms of segregation of different social groups. However, my science teacher Siva Subramania Iyer, though an orthodox Brahmin with very conservative wife, was something of a rebel. He did his best to break social barriers so that people from varying background could mingle easily. He used to spend hours with me and would say, Kalam, I want you to develop so that you are on par with the highly educated people of the big cities. Rigid means strict, segregation means separation. Orthodox means one who follows the religion strictly. Conservative means traditional. Rebel means in opposition. Mingle means interact with each other. On par means at the same level. The division of society into four groups Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishyas, and Sudras was strictly followed in Rameshwaram. Abdul Kalam science teacher Siva Subramania Iyer was a religious person, an orthodox Brahman, but was a rebellious type of person. He did not believe in distinction of the on the basis of caste system. He worked very hard to break these social barriers. He wanted that people of different castes should interact with each other. He encouraged APJ Abdul Kalam to work hard so that he could be at the same level as the highly educated people who lived in big cities. One day, he invited me to his home for a meal. His wife was horrified at the idea of a Muslim boy being invited to dine in her ritually pure kitchen. She refused to serve me in her kitchen. Siva Subramania Iyer was not perturbed, nor did he get angry with his wife, but instead served me with his own hands and sat down beside me to eat his meal. His wife watched us from behind the kitchen door. I wondered whether she had observed any difference in the way I ate rice, drank water, or cleaned the floor after the meal. Ritually pure means kept protected from all outside influences for the observance of religion. Perturbed means disturbed, upset. Siva Subramania Iyer's wife belonged to a traditional and orthodox Brahmin family. She followed the religion very strictly, and to keep the kitchen pure, no one from an inferior religion was allowed to enter the kitchen. When Siva Subramania Iyer called APJ Abdul Kalam for dinner at his home, his wife feared that a boy from Muslim family would make her kitchen impure. She refused to serve him food in her kitchen. Shiva Subramania Iyer was neither upset nor angry. He himself served food to APJ and sat down beside him to eat. His wife stood beside the kitchen door and looked at APJ while she was having food. APJ says that he does not think that she felt there was any difference in the way he was having his food or the way he was drinking water or in the way he cleaned the floor after the meal. He wants to highlight that religion does not matter as it does not after alter the way in which a person eats food. When I was leaving his house, Shiva Subramania Iyer has invited me to join him for dinner again the next weekend. Observing my hesitation, he told me not to get upset, saying, once you decide to change the system, such problems have to be confronted. When I visited his house the next week, Shiva Subramania's Ayer's wife took me inside her kitchen and served me food with her own hands. Then the Second World War was over and India's freedom was imminent. Indian will build their own India, declared Gandhiji. The whole country was filled with an unprecedented optimism. Hesitation means doubt, delay. Confronted means faced, tackled. Imminent means about to happen. Unprecedented means never done or not before. Optimism means hope, cheer. When APJ was about to leave Shiva Subramania Iyer's house, he invited him for dinner once again. When Shiva Subramania Iyer saw that APJ Abdul Kalam was his Siddhant, means he was in doubt, he asked him not to be upset. He added that if he had decided to change the system to go against the norms of the society, he had to be strong and brave and confront the situation. When he visited Shiva Subramania Iyer's home for dinner the next week, his wife made him sit in the kitchen and served him food with her own hands. This is the change that happened. When the Second World War got over in the year 1945, India was about to get freedom, which happened in the year 1947. M.K. Gandhi, known as the father of the nation, was crucial part of India's freedom struggle. He said that India would build their own India. The entire country was filled with hope and happiness. Everyone was experiencing such a feeling which they had never felt before. Everyone was hoping that now they would get their freedom. I asked my father for permission to leave Rameshwaram and study at the district headquarters in Ramnathpuram. He told me as if thinking aloud, Abul, I know you have to go away to grow. Does the seagull not fly across the sun, alone and without a nest? He quoted Khalil Gibran to my he Siddhant mother. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for himself itself. They come though you, but not from you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. Longing means desire. For they have their own thoughts, except from your children, poem by Khalil Gibran. APJ asked his father to allow him to go to Ramnathpuram, which was the district headquarters for higher studies. Seagull is the bird. In reply, his father told him that he knew that APJ needed to go away so that he could move ahead in the life. He gave the example of a seagull which flies away in the sky all alone and does not have a nest. It means it does not have a home of its own as it keeps on flying from one place to another. When APJ mother came to know that he was about to leave home and wanted to go to Ramnathpuram for higher studies, she was upset. APJ's father tried to calm her down and told her a few lines from a famous poem titled Your Children, written by Khalil Gibran. He said that your children are not your children, they are the children of life. Don't think that you can rule your children. They are a result of life's desire for itself. They have their own thoughts. He asked her to give them freedom to fulfill their thoughts. This is all, students. I hope you all have understood, and thank you for watching the video.